Welcome back to Farm and Hammer, everyone. It's been a couple weeks again, as you guys probably know, because I think the whole country is pretty much dealing with some of it. We've got some cold temps, and we've also had some snow and ice, which luckily we won't start calving until the beginning of March. So we don't have any cows calving out here. And I'm out here with one of the groups that you guys have not seen for 6 months or so. In August or September, we had the opportunity to lease about 60 acres of pasture quite a ways down the road, just for the rest of the year. The guy used it as a hay pasture, and only wanted to cut once this past year. So we were able to graze that with this group of cows. So we hauled all them over there, weaned the calves off, hauled them over there. We have actually since brought them back. They've been back on this farm for 2-3 weeks now. And since this farm had 6 months to rest, even though we didn't get a whole lot of rain this fall, we did get quite a bit of fescue that came back, and that's what they've been grazing on for the last couple weeks. And they haven't had any hay yet, but with the snow, they're probably going to get a little bit. Even though when I pulled in here, they were grazing through the snow, and I'll try to show you guys. Some of them are still grazing, even though I've got a bale out here. So they're pretty content with the grass they've got. We'll give them a little bit of hay just to keep them happy and give them something to lay down on. Because as you guys know, we've had 0-degree temperatures and below 0-degree temperatures for the last 3 days. And tomorrow looks like it may actually warm up a little bit into the 40s. So hopefully the worst of it's over. Been cutting ice for them and all that. But I'll get out here and show you guys some of the cows and see if I can find some of them grazing through the snow. So here's some of the cows, and since the farm they came off of was quite a ways away, they didn't see a lot of people for those 5 or 6 months, maybe once a week. But these are, quite a few of these are the Holstein Angus crosses that I raised on the bottle, and the rest are just our normal beef cows. But these are spring calving cows, and my goodness, when we brought them home, they were as fat as I've ever seen them, just because they had all the grass they could want out there on that other place. And let's just say when we took them over there, we had plenty of room on the trailer. Bringing them home, it was a tight squeeze. So they put on a lot of weight, and they're looking good now, even in the snow, grazing through this stuff. So so anyway, this group, gonna give them a half a bale. I gave them a half a bale a couple days ago, just right here. You can see they sort of cleaned it up, but came out here the last 2 days. They didn't want any hay, so let them graze the last couple days, and they still don't act like they're too hungry for hay. I'll give them a little bit just in case they want some. See one over there grazing. There's one grazing there too, picking out the green. And guys, I apologize. Today's video is going to be all on the phone because I have destroyed another camera, which is one reason I haven't posted. I only had this camera for about a year before I broke it. My other cameras got destroyed because, you know, I'm setting them up while I'm doing farm chores, and something falls over, they fall off the truck, cows knock them over, step on them, that kind of stuff. This one was all my fault. I was charging it in one of the outlets on the floor, and somehow I accidentally stepped on it in the dark, and I had the battery flap open, so it felt like I stepped on a Lego. I crunched the camera. It's a little tiny little one, but anyway, camera's crushed. I gotta find a new one, get a new microphone, and try to have some better quality videos for you. But that's what I'm working with today on the cell phone. So I'm not gonna be able to show all the daily tasks that I normally do, just because I can't set the camera down. And it's really cold out here, so my hands are gonna freeze if I hold this phone for too long. Same group of cows, there's only 25 in here. So I've just been cutting one 3 by 1.5 hole for them. And they pretty much keep it moving most of the day. So it hasn't really frozen over too bad. I come out and chop it again in the evening, but I cut a second one for them, just a little one over here, just in case it freezes over. One of them freezes over, but so you guys can probably see those 2 rows of hay there. Then I've got 2 more rows over there. This is actually brand new hay, just got in, bought 2 semi-loads. And these actually came out of Arkansas. It was cheaper to have them hauled in from Arkansas than for me to buy the same hay here. So yeah, paid for the shipping, got these bales brought in. This is Bermuda hay, which is actually really good. And I got a really good deal on this because the bales they weren't baled super tight. So I got them extra cheap. The bales over there, they're just 4x5s, Johnson grass, Bermuda mix. Cows seem to eat them okay. But once again, for the price, cheaper than anything I can get here. And there's already Johnson grass covering the rental farm, so I'm not concerned about feeding Johnson grass out there. But anyway, that should be enough hay to get my current set of cows through the winter, as well as my weaned group of calves that I haven't sold yet. I'll show you them here in a bit. Girls are waiting on me this morning. A little later than normal. I know a lot of people hate the bitter cold like this and everything freezing over, but there is one major benefit that I like about it. The ground's frozen, and when you're feeding 6 round bales a day with the truck, you know, you don't got to worry about leaving tire tracks and ruts and getting stuck. So I actually don't mind the cold like this. Might take an extra 15 minutes a day to cut ice for them all, but really I'd take that over mud any day. And since the ground is frozen, that also lets me unroll these bales pretty much wherever I want. So some of the lower ground I can't always put hay on because it's so wet, we can feed bales out here and get some fertilizer where we want it without worrying about the cows destroying the place. I wish all the hay we got were 5x6s. Wouldn't have to feed as many bales. But anyway, cows seem to like it. Minimal waste and not a whole lot of brush. Not a whole lot of brush in it. So it's pretty good hay, and hopefully we're getting some native grass seeds spread on the whole place, and maybe eventually some of that will start coming up. So these girls are all fed, and you can see one right there. She's actually still grazing a little bit. There's not much to graze out for this group. They've pretty much been getting hay for the last couple of weeks, and we made it to Christmas without feeding them any hay. Some of the cows, I can tell they're starting to lose a little bit of condition, which they're feeding big calves, but I'd just like to see some of them in a little better shape than they are. Anyway, this group's doing well. Calves are looking good. They haven't been worked yet. We were hoping to work them a week or 2 ago, but we had nasty weather coming and didn't want to risk getting all the calves sick from working them right before some nasty weather. So calves are 300 pounds, and they need to be worked, but we'll wait till this gross weather clears up. And you can maybe see the weaned cows behind me. I've already got them fed. They aren't the brightest things on the farm. They've been getting fed in this corral here for the last 5 months, and they always get hung up in that corner. They can't seem to find their way through, so I have to walk them in with a bucket. And these calves are getting close to being sold. Honestly, we would have liked to have already sold the steers, but stockyards were closed this week for weather, and we won't be able to sell them next week, so they may be here another week or 2. And by the time we do get to sell these steers, they'll be true yearlings. So yeah, they're looking good. And I remember a few months ago, about a quarter of this bunk wasn't filled up. And they've grown enough, they've pretty much filled up this whole bunk space. So they put on quite a bit of weight since we weaned them. I'm hoping they'll, steers at least, will finish out at 650 when we haul them. That's what I'm hoping the average is. But you never know, I'm not that great at estimating weights. Yeah, I'm guessing 650 to 700. And heifers, we're going to hold on to them for a while. Like I said last video, we're going to trade a couple out with some of mine. And then the rest we'll give them a 30-day breeding season. Whatever doesn't get bred, we'll haul off. And the ones that get bred in those 30 days we'll keep. So that's the plan for them. I'm going to get their water cut, and then I'm going to watch them after they finish their feed, because they all want to pile and drink out of the same hole, and I don't want any of them getting laid over on the ice and not be able to get up. So I'm going to get their water cut on the pond, give them 3 or 4 big spaces to drink from, and then get on to feed my calves. And I've got the rental farm calves fed. They're putting on quite a bit of weight. They've got the old calf shed to get into with this cold weather, so that's why you're going to see some of them pretty dirty, because they're hanging out in there, laying down in there, and pooping in there. So that's why you're seeing mud. But they're putting on weight. Even these little ones are putting on some weight. Like I said, there's a couple bulls that are still hanging on, like that one there. But the majority of them have lost them and healed up already. So still getting the same amount of grain they've been getting since I weaned them. So they're still not getting a ton. So they're still not getting a lot per day, but it's enough to keep them gaining. And I did have them on some good fescue hay, but I had those bales all locked off with the new ones, so I gave them some of the new Johnson grass bales, and they don't like it near as much, but they're picking through it. So definitely taking them a lot longer to eat through a bale. These cold temps, I have been giving them a little extra grain at night just to help them stay warm. That way they're not shivering all night. They hang out in the barn, get out of the wind, and they seem to be doing okay. So, but anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a video. Like I said, this video is a little different format because I'm working on a phone today. But hopefully next video I'll have a new camera and be able to show you guys some actual day-to-day stuff. But anyway, with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you all next time.